Man, are the Eagles making a play for the number one top free agent cornerback on the market? Let me tell you, I would be shocked when there's a big need at corner right now, at least for the future. This is really interesting. Now, a Eagles coach has been retained to Kellen Moore's offensive staff, and a little bit more into why HaasonReddick really has no say and no control over the situation with his contract.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves because right around the corner is Eagles free agency. Where, to be honest, regarding our roster, I think we kind of know like what they're gonna do, cutting, trading, maybe really just the post June cuts, things like that, cap casualties. When it comes down to free agency, we know what the needs are, but what are the Eagles? What are they gonna hit by that time? And all the rumors coming out on specific players that the Eagles can go after, whether it's adding to Vic Fangio's defense or it's adding to Kellen Moore's offense. Revamped, rejuvenated, and ready to go into the 2024 season. Okay, there was some news that came out that an ESPN executive talked about. Janarius Sneed, probably one of the, other than really Jalen Johnson from the Bears, that's probably going to get paid a lot of money. Lajarius Sneed is definitely one of those players that has that pushback, has that grit, has that attitude. I love this kid for a lot of reasons. Okay, and there was ESPN's Matt Bowen did talk about and ranks Lajarius Sneed as to the Eagles as a top offseason move. And hopes to see in the coming weeks. He said, quote unquote, upgrading the cornerback position is an offseason priority in Philadelphia. With Sneed, the Eagles land one of the top veteran free agents who has the cover skills and ability to produce in Vic Fangio's system, which is 100% true. Now, will the Eagles actually go down this trench hole once more? Okay, the Eagles haven't, like, besides Slay getting, when Slay signed here for a good amount of money, but Lajarius Sneed is probably the number one guy in the free agent market that's going to have a lot of teams going after him. Do the Eagles really have that much interest in getting a top cornerback? I'm not a fan of signing cornerbacks because you just don't have them for long when it comes to big contracts like this, okay? You have a window, okay? Whether how much money it's going to be, I don't know, but would I rather go into the draft and get one in the first round? 100%. If the Eagles have a top priority and that is getting the future number one guy for a few years, or at least somebody that can at least be with Slay for 1 year. They cut Bradbury, obviously, extend his contract, cut him, extend that dead cap, which is really nothing. It's single digit dead cap. The Eagles will eat that up regardless. But getting Sneed in the building on a big contract, this would really surprise me as much as there is a need at cornerback, especially the future number one, which Sneed will be that. Slay is pretty much going to be gone probably after one more year, I would have to say. We'll see what happens because I don't think they're getting rid of two cornerbacks. I think Slay will still be here. I think the Eagles really still need him. But Sneed would be an interesting one. And I would be shocked because you get rid of, you extend, you cut Byard, you cut Maddox, you create all this cap space. The Eagles have over $40 million in cap space. Will it even be enough for the contract that Lajarius Sneed is going to want? That's going to be like your whole entire, not your whole entire cap, but it's going to be a nice big portion of it. You know what I mean? And, the Eagles really haven't dipped into the free agent market for a cornerback since really Slay's been here. And before that, really, Byron Maxwell getting a lot of money. It's been a while since we've dipped into getting the top cornerback in free agency. Doesn't matter if you go and trade for Patrick Surtain, which a lot of Eagle fans do talk about, because at the end of the day, you gotta pay these guys. Even if you trade for Patrick Surtain and give up all these draft picks, you have to pay the man. That is how this whole thing goes. Jalen Johnson's looking to get paid. Lajarius Sneed is definitely going to be up there as the number one guy that's going to get the most money, depending how this market goes for cornerbacks. Usually the first one that gets paid, and all the other cornerbacks are going to want almost or close to the same number as what the original offer was to another player in the league that got signed to big money. So, do the Eagles go down this rabbit hole again? and not draft somebody and produce somebody that could jump right in here and have him here for 5 years on a much cheaper, somewhat cheaper contract than what these free agents are. You're going to be giving these free agents. Okay. Free agency is the overpay sector of the season because that's what you do in free agency. You overpay. Nobody is ever worth what they make. Okay. Nobody. Depending on who it is, most of the time, not. Cornerbacks are one of the most expensive positions other than quarterback. Okay. And, if they went this move, they went this direction, like I don't question Lajarius Sneed's play. I don't question his attitude and what he brings toughness to Philadelphia and pushback and don't take no shit. I mean, I love the way, he's a very violent, aggressive player at times. And I think we sorely need that badly and a really good tackler too. And I think this would be a great fit, but I just don't see them spending all that money and getting it. You think that the Eagles are just gonna like pay him a specific number that he wants, and they're just gonna the deal's gonna get done. You know how many teams are gonna go after him and his services, and it's gonna be a competition with Cap. It's gonna be insane. I don't think the Eagles are gonna get into a bidding war with Lajarius Sneed. And I look, if they sign him, I'll be completely shocked. Like, man, did not see this one coming. I knew a cornerback was coming, but not Lajarius Sneed. And this one would really surprise me. And, we'll see what happens down the road. But, cornerback is definitely one of the talked about positions, as well as linebacker, as well as safety, as well as other positions. But Lajarius Sneed, I just think it's going to be too much out of the pay grade for the Philadelphia Eagles. Got to put more attention to other things. I don't care if they have a first and 2 second-round picks. You need depth on this roster. You need a bunch of other things that really don't cost that much. Depth doesn't cost too much, but you have some empty holes in the back end as well, within your secondary too, your linebacker position. So I just feel like this is going to be too cost effective, less cost effective, or more cost effective, I should say. And where the Eagles are going to put themselves in the hole by signing a guy of this, I can't see this contract being cheap. It's going to be crazy to get him. And if they do, I'll be completely in shock and probably stare at the wall for 3 days wondering how they did this and why they wanted to do it. But I think that would be a very aggressive move if they're desperate for a cornerback and want some, and they don't feel like producing anybody and want somebody right now to play, and you're Super Bowl bound and you think you're ready to get this done. We'll see what happens. Vic Fangio is going to get the guys that he wants. I think the Eagles have related the fact that they respect Vic Fangio, and Vic Fangio has hired his own coaching staff. Nick has had nothing to do with any hires, offensively or defensively, for the Eagles. Has nothing to do with the hirings. But Vic Fangio 100% is hiring his experienced coaching staff. Not only that, he's going to get the players in the building that are going to work with his scheme and how they fit his scheme. Not setting up your players to fail, getting the right players in the building for himself. And that's definitely going to be a big one on the list. Lajarius Sneed is one of the biggest corners on the market. So it would be really interesting. Now, the Reddick situation has gotten more interesting. I think we have to really come into agreement here, okay, that, look, HaasonReddick does not have any control over the situation. Because at the end of the day, guys, he can want 25 plus. The Eagles don't have to do a damn thing, okay? The Eagles can just let him just play this year under what contract he is on. Now, Reddick has options, not great ones, if he wants to affect his numbers, effect on his role that he has been right now. So if the Eagles say, you know what, we're not giving you an extension, you're going to play out. Could HaasonReddick hold out in the offseason? Sure. Could he hold out during the season? Sure. Well, if he holds out, the Eagles will just get some of his money back. He'll lose money every single week. The Eagles will get money back in the cap space. And HaasonReddick is going to destroy his value at this point. I don't think he's willing to do that. And to be honest with you, I don't think that it's going to come out to a holdout or, I don't think Reddick's going to get the number that he wants. And if he tries to get 25 plus, it's not going to happen. Okay? Either Reddick will play on the current contract for one more year. He'll play with a chip on his shoulder, and we'll get as much use out of him as possible. 2 double-digit sack seasons with the Eagles in a row. It's hard to trade a guy like that, especially if he's turning 30 years old. I understand the age, but the age is what really makes the difference. If Reddick was 26 years old, 27, I would say giving him up for a late first to a second round pick would be great. I don't know if a second round pick would actually even be fair compensation for him or a day 2 pick in general. Double digit sack seasons with the Eagles 2 years straight, 4 years in a row at double digit sack seasons. No players do that. It's very, very rare that players get to put numbers up like that. But in HaasonReddick's case, if you do trade him, yeah, I'm going to want to fleece a team like there's no tomorrow. That's he's going to go on to a team, go to another team and produce immediately, sure. But when it comes down to it, guys, like I don't think it's the right move to trade him because of what your edge position is right now. Josh Sweat on the final year of his contract. Brandon Graham's a free agent, and Nolan Smith has not produced yet. So you take HaasonReddick out of the equation. Damn, there's a hole. Whoever you draft in the draft at edge, whoever you get in free agency is not going to produce the numbers that Reddick is going to produce. Okay, if you're just going to sign another defensive end to big money if Reddick gets traded, what's just extend him at this point. I'm not a big fan of re-signing, 29 to 30-year-old players. Just depends on the situation. But I feel Reddick has a few years left. He's got a lot of juice. I don't think he's declining at all. I know HaasonReddick can be streaky. Like 1 month he'll have 0 sacks, another month he'll have like 6. Like he's a little streaky at times. But in Vic Fangio's scheme, does he work out in the 3-4? He's done it before. He's been an outside linebacker. But if you're going to be in a 3-4 scheme and he's going to be an outside linebacker, he's got to be on the line. He's got to attack the line. That's how they have to use him. Using him out in space, you're just wasting money. You're just wasting him every single game, every single week. So Reddick can hold out and say he'll hold out for the whole season or not come back to the Eagles if they're not going to give him an extension. He's only hurting his value, and a lot of teams are going to feel like it's unprofessional. A lot of teams are going to be turned off by that as well. There'll be a team that signs him even if he holds out for a couple months, a few months, whatever. Just say he holds out the whole entire year. It's not going to make him look great. So the Eagles, he doesn't have any control over the situation. So I feel in my heart an extension will get done. I feel like they'll say 11 to 16 million, whatever it's going to be. It's going to be $11 million with an extension. I feel like the extension will happen. For 2 to 3 years. We'll see. The third year could be voided. They can get rid of him in 2 years if he's still playing a high level to keep for a third year. So there's a lot of different things that they could do here. Reddick has already talked about that he doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to stay with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, he's just trying to get his a number, to bring back to the Eagles of his self-worth, his self-value. And guys, he deserves to get paid. There's no doubt about it. $25+ million. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think I'll pass on that a little bit. But like I said, if you're gonna get rid of Reddick to go sign another edge rusher and pay that edge rusher a lot of money, just sign the guy. Just sign the guy that's been here. Just extend Reddick at this point. And I think that's the smart decision to make. Especially what our edge rushers look like right now. They definitely got to draft another one, no doubt about it. A lot of positions. So that's the whole Reddick situation. No control. The Eagles have all the control. And if he wants to just play out, if the Eagles won't meet with any number he wants, he has to play for the Eagles this year. There's nothing he can do except ruin his own value, which I don't think he's going to do that either. So you'll see what happens. And lastly, coaching staff wise, we've been wondering about Aaron Moorhead. Is he going to get, everybody's been pretty much changed besides Michael Clay and Aaron Moorhead are one of the 2 coaches, Jeff Stalin, one of the 3 coaches really that haven't been moved yet. Looks like Aaron Moorhead is staying, with the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Kellen Moore does like him, and that's it. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. I can't put too much into positional coaches. They don't make the playbook. They don't call the plays. Getting these guys prepared physically, that's going to be, probably one of the biggest, hopefully the off-season program does change for some of these players and obviously some of these coaches that have to put these guys through their tasks during training camp and stuff like that, mini camp, stuff like that. But Aaron Moorhead will be back. So it is what it is. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but it is, he's fine. Like I never really had a huge issue with him. But he will be back with the Philadelphia Eagles. And he's been here for a while too. This is going to be the 4th year, 5th year with the Philadelphia Eagles as of right now. So, It's our 4th year. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But that is the retaining hire, and I think the Eagles are pretty much set with their coaching staff, unless they're going to be changing some front office guys, or I think they're pretty much set. I don't know what else they're looking at. I think they filled almost every position coach. You know, every spot that's been open has been closed up already. So Aaron Moorhead is here to stay. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We talked about Reddick, in the situation where the Eagles have all the control. Lajarius Sneed on the Eagles' radar. Let me tell you something. If they sign him, I don't know. I'll be happy about it, but I'll be like, man, they spent that much money. They could have drafted a guy. It's gonna be tough if they feel like they don't want to draft a corner this year. They want to get a guy out and just we'll pay him whatever he wants. Then great. Then they could do that if that's what they want to do. I don't know. I want to know from your opinion, what do you guys think about Lajarius Sneed in general? If that's the safe point you think they're gonna go, and be aggressive and just pay somebody and call it a day. We haven't even freed up any cap space yet, so it's harder for me to even say they're going to sign a guy to big money. Like that type of money is a whole different story. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for Eagles news every day. And make sure you like the video. It does help out the channel tremendously. And appreciate all the support from you guys. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Chicks, what up, follow. Peace out, guys. Peace.